right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Hazmat Highway.
It just goes up into the air. And that's what makes it dangerous.
A deadly truck crash releases ammonia, forcing people to evacuate. What will happen from here?
Today's highs around 90 degrees in most locations, even higher. But we'll hold on to that going into October. But how long it lasts and when we'll see a welcome change to fall.
Shutdown, showdown. Tensions persist as lawmakers come together to prevent the government from closing.
If somebody wants to remove because I want to be the adult in the room, go ahead and try.
The last-ditch effort to keep services up and running and the potential consequences behind the compromise. But first, we begin tonight with breaking news at the U.S. Capitol. Just hours ago, Congress passing a short-term resolution keeping the government running for another 45 days. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. The Senate passed a measure with less than 3 hours before the government was set to shut down. The vote put House Speaker McCarthy in a tough spot tonight by partnering with Democrats on this. He caused tension with some in his own party. Ryan Noble reports.
Against all odds, Congress found a way to avoid a government shutdown.
The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
At the 11th hour, Speaker Kevin McCarthy calling an audible and defying his conservative rebels by putting a 45-day spending bill on the floor.
It is very clear that I tried every possible way, listening to every single person in the conference.
The short-term deal does not include spending cuts or new policies to deal with the border crisis sought by conservatives. The proposal caught Democrats off guard, but ultimately they greenlit the plan by an overwhelming majority.
The American people have won. The extreme MAGA Republicans have lost.
McCarthy initially sought to pass a bill exclusively with Republican votes, but was bailed out by Democrats as today's measure passed with more Democratic votes than Republican.
He needed to work with Democrats to get it because he's got, a bunch of members of the Chaos Caucus that are never going to vote for anything.
The White House today calling the deal on the Hill a big victory. But the last-minute passage was not without drama. Congressman Jamal Bowman admitted to pulling a fire alarm in a House office building. Bowman said it was by accident. Republicans accusing him of doing it on purpose to delay the vote.
I think ethics should look at this, but this is serious.
But while the crisis was averted today, the real work still needs to be done.
We won't be back here in the same place in 45 days?
Look, we are going to focus come Monday on completing the appropriations bills, but there's a lot of work to do.
That was Ryan Noble's reporting. This measure, by the way, will keep the government running until November 17th. An evacuation is now lifted in Effingham County nearly 24 hours later. 5 people were killed in a crash that prompted more than 500 people to evacuate. Dozens of agencies responding. In fact, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency is now investigating. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer with the very latest.
State, federal, and local agencies are all here in Effingham to help out for the ammonia leak that happened. The semi-truck that crashed happened in between Montrose and Effingham, and officials say that 500 people were displaced from their homes and evacuated until they are given the all clear.
First off, the families and all those affected have our deepest sympathy.
Saturday morning, officials near and far held a press conference to inform residents about the semi-truck crash in Teutopolis. It was carrying 7,500 gallons of hazardous chemicals. Teutopolis sits nearly 100 miles from St. Louis. Officials say the tanker ruptured as a result of the crash. Shortly after, crews arrived on the scene to patch the leak.
But they got the majority of it, so it did leak through the night and then most of the day today.
Fire Chief Tim McMahon says the tanker contained anhydrous ammonia chemicals. Evacuation happened from Pearl Street to Teutopolis along Route 40 to 2100 North Road in a 2-mile radius.
And we spent a lot of time today trying to come up with a plan to offload it, and we finally had a company come down from up north.
Chief McMahon says the risk of hazardous chemicals in the air is a problem.
It gets in your lungs and burns your lungs almost immediately.
Illinois State Representative Adam Niemerg, who represents the area, believes the crash could have been prevented.
There's been many accidents on Interstate 70, and what happens is you have traffic that gets routed on US 40 right through Teutopolis here. And unfortunately, a lot of folks are a little upset because they felt that this type of thing would happen eventually.
The names and ages of the 5 fatalities have not been given out yet because these families are grieving the loss of their loved ones. We are told, though, when the scene is clear, that's when the Effingham County coroner will then go in and update that number if need be. Reporting here in Teutopolis, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
All right, Diamond, thanks. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker sharing a statement saying in part, quote, "Our hearts are with the loved ones of those affected by the car crash and chemical leak. My administration is on the ground and we will provide state support in any way we can." Developing in St. Louis, we're working to learn more about the death of an inmate from the St. Louis Justice Center. Authorities say around 2 this morning, Jawan Carter had a medical emergency. Officials took that detainee to the hospital, and that's where he died. We don't know what led to his death. This is the 3rd jail detainee death since the end of August, and that's following ongoing concerns at the city jail. Detainees also took a security guard hostage back in August. Well, a much warmer final day of September, and the nearly 90-degree temperatures led to heat exhaustion in our area. High school students at a marching band festival in Arnold had to be treated after experiencing symptoms. Authorities tell us more than 24 got sick due to the heat. 3 teenagers had to be taken to the hospital. Let's go ahead and head over to Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank to see how long these higher temperatures will stick with us, Gary.
Yeah, tough to get rid of them here over the next few days. You know, we're supposed to be 77 degrees right now, 76. We're supposed to start off in the 50s, and we've done far from that over the last couple of days. The trend continues in the month of October. Right now, as we look downtown, fireworks going off. You can see them here in the distance. Fireworks going off pretty nice here, and that's actually our building. We're having a really good time down here. No, it's temps right now still in the mid-70s. Right now, this is our average high, and it's still that way at 1020. That's the big story for us. And as we look closer to those fireworks, you can see, I think they're reflecting right off the building there. East-southeast breeze at 7 miles an hour, still a little humid. Temps in the mid-70s tomorrow. We're not going to get rid of that. It's going to be... we're going to have to lead to fire danger down the road just because it's so dry. But we are targeting some rain. It's not tomorrow for the rest of your weekend, but it also is going to bring a big change. We'll track that for you and also talk about a fall feel, which is on the way shortly.